Hello and welcome. I'm really glad that you will join me today on the optimal path for cost-effective user acquisition. My name is Moritz, and I work as head of business development at Good Game Studios. And that might be a big difference to previous speakers. I'm not a person who looks back on a decade of gaming experience. In my career so far, I had a strong focus on partnership marketing and sales topics. One of my main goals at Good Game Studios so far is finding additional channels for user acquisition that are hopefully more favorable than the classic marketing channels. Short overview on Good Game Studios. So the company has been founded in 2009 by two brothers and their friend. Those two brothers, one of them were dentists and the other was a lawyer. They had a vision, and they still have the vision, to become one of the leading game companies, game developing companies in the world until 2020. Besides subsidiaries in Seoul and Tokyo, our headquarters is in Hamburg, where 1,200 plus employees right now work. And core competency of the company's development and distribution of mobile and browser free-to-play titles. So far, we launched 12 games with 270 million registered users worldwide, and last year we made a revenue of around about $200 million. Our portfolio consists of strategy, RPG, and simulation games. Most established titles are Empire as a browser game and Empire for Kingdoms as a mobile title. How do we promote these games? We work globally on revenue share partnerships. That means we acquire partners and integrate our games on their platform. They promote the game or they send us traffic. We monetize inside the games with in-game purchases. The only thing how we monetize, we don't do any ads so far. And we share the revenue on a percentage based finally with our partner. And the more valuable a user is coming from a partner's page, of course, the bigger is his benefit and finally our benefit. In the last years, the mobile internet ad spending have been rising steadily. I've prepared some numbers. I'm quite sure everyone is aware of the costs and the increase of internet spendings. Due to a e-marketer forecast, we will have around $195 billion to be spent in 2019. And due to this budget flooding, the costs for user acquisition generally rising steadily. Depending on the game so far or on the category of the game, right now the prices are for simple business ads around $1, for strategy games over $4, and pokers up to $5. Especially for MMORPG games, for example. You have to spend between $4 and $10 to acquire new users. And this trend is especially what I want to talk about with you today. What kind of alternatives do we see in the user acquisition? Revenue share, just a short explanation, is a 100% performance related business model, which usually, if you do it in the right way, leads to a win-win situation. High quality traffic monetizes great, and even with low quality traffic, both sides still have the chance to get their benefits. Those 5 displayed opportunities, I will explain you a little bit deeper in the next minutes. First of all is a best case Scattergun case with one of our long-term partners, Spill. Spill has the advantage that they have a huge coverage due to the number of platforms. They reach out to 10,000s of gamers every day. And with partners like this, you reach a wide number of potential users, dependent on your product variety. You can reach different target groups with just one single contact. That means if you get the chance to work together with portals like that as a developer, you have one contact, you have to take care about one corporation, but you reach a bench of different target groups with regularly content expansions and special offers. It may help you guaranteeing good rankings on these pages, and even channeling partners who are maybe not into gaming yet, who might be work as media companies or something, could be interesting for you in that case. For the partner, the big benefit is he gets an additional revenue stream, exciting or good new content on his pages. Your big benefit is that you might reach out for a new target group which is not into gaming yet, but potentially quite ready to pay for your games. This is a short example how we implement our game empire on Spill's platform. Second approach is the social media influencer. One of our Korean partners called Africa TV is in this case my example, my best case. I'm quite sure every one of you is aware of companies like Twitch, and there are a bunch of companies who work with the same mechanism. That means offering live video broadcasting and chatting functions and attract players like that. Our Korean partners mainly work as an independent broadcaster, BG, just the short, BG means broadcaster. These BGs are presenting and playing games directly connected with the user. This is a short example. Our game, and in the left corner is the BG playing the game, and the audience gets excited and attracted by that, wants to play with the BG against the BG, and that creates a high retention and a high rec-to-pay rate. To increase the payments inside these corporations, it is quite easy and quite helpful if you prevent your partner with a high number of your own game currency, or you show him or attract him with certain different items. That makes the game even more interesting for the BG, and finally, of course, for your attendances. Especially, so usually BGs are working on different target groups, and if you find the right BG, it helps you directly to get in touch with your right target group. If you are looking for a network, or if you want to leverage the right network, it makes sense to keep some questions in your mind. Like, does the channel target the right target group? Does it publish relevant content on a regular basis, which is really important in these cases? And how engaged is the channel's audience? Like, how are the channel's videos ranked in search, and how well are channel's videos promoted in related or recommended videos? We made the experience that it's really helpful to think a little bit smaller for a better conversion. That means especially small and middle-sized influencers often have a really targeted audience, and that finally results in higher conversions and a better quality traffic. Smaller channels are really higher motivated to work on new content, to get new content, and are definitely much more flexible. For us, the biggest learning, and it was a hard learning, was that influencers should not be used as a performance marketing tool. As a developer, it makes really much more sense if you treat them like an eye-on-eye partnership level. Of course, only that remains, or brings you a long-term partnership, which is finally, or should finally be the goal. If you provide unique content that offers a lot of detailed information about the game, it's also really helpful, and especially content behind the scenes, we're talking about like previews or something, are highly requested. You could do like something like walkthroughs, how to place, or game-powered entertainment videos, which really attracts those partners. Another best case is a targeted partnership based on revenue share. An example right here is our partner Miniclip. our partner has a special section for multiplayer games. Most of our games perfectly fit into this section. And our advantage in this case is that the users mostly have a really long lifetime and a really high retention. That means the focus in this case is more the quality focus instead the quantity focus, and it enables you to have much more space for the single games, which leads to a better conversion of the game finally. And again, if you have the chance to offer unique campaigns for partners like that, the user of the partner and finally, of course, the partner will highly appreciate it, and you finally reach out to a long-term partnership again. Just a short example of our cooperation with Miniclip in this case. Talking about pre-installs on mobile devices. This tool really helps you to reduce your entry barrier to the partner, to the user, sorry. Because you can address the user directly and the install barrier finally drops out. How does it work? Shortly, the application is installed on the device before selling it. It's really appreciated if the position of your pre-install is on the home screen, and depends on the size of your pre-installed partner. A device selection would be really helpful to reach your perfect target audience. But as I said, depends on the size of your partner. Either you choose a direct cooperation with an OEM or you sign a contract with a carrier. Your advantage as a developer finally is that your partner benefits from additional content on his device again. He has additional revenue stream, and yeah, sorry, that's it. To support this kind of corporations, we made the experience that it's really helpful to produce additional flyers, handouts with instructions inside the package. What about some information about the game, maybe how to use it, why is it a fun game, why is it a nice game, what is your advantage. That will increase the registration rate seriously, and we faced conversions up to 10% with this approach. Of course, depends on the device, depends on the selection of the target group you can do. Most important factor in this case, and it's finally the main factor for high registrations, is that you are able to do a direct start without any update after downloads. That finally depends on your SDK connection you have with your partner. Finally, you will face a really high dropout rate if a download in for the first opening of the game is needed. Another mobile approach, which is really where we learned our lessons, but finally found the right approach. Is the topic push messages. Turkcell is one of the biggest providers in Turkey, and it is an even more direct approach for developers to reach the right target audience in cooperation with a mobile partner. Push messages are one of the most effective methods to reach a specific audience, and I would like to describe a little bit how we learned our lessons with Turkcell finally. Last year we tried, for us, a new way of user acquisition. We got in touch via SMS and push messages with the Turkcell customer and asked them to install and play Empire. We sent them a link, and this link forwarded them directly to the game, and what a surprise, the results were sobering. So we had to think about a new strategy. Turkcell customers received a message together with a forwarding link, and we asked them to take part in a competition. The first 3 clients who spent the highest amount inside the game received a prize. this campaign in context with the competition gained much more of the registrations than the campaign before, and following campaigns without a context gained less registrations. For us, finally, the important learning was despite low regs, the revenue rose. Of course, we asked why. What was the reason for that? The main reason was that we increased a really small number of high-paying users, which finally increased the revenue steady. The reason was finally that we could use the database of our partner. We could use the Turkcell database, and they were able to send the messages directly to the right partner. That means they finally targeted directly the right target audience. What are our conclusions finally? Burning our money necessarily does not mean that we acquired the right user, especially into social media or cooperation partnerships. We got more and more successfully, and right now this is for our company a really important additional revenue stream besides the classic partnership marketings. For us, revenue share is the perfect model to make sure that both sides have the final success, and I would suggest everyone to give it a try, to work on business models like that. Of course, we found out it was really hard at the beginning, but once you made the first move, and other companies and partners got attracted to it. We established long-term partnerships, and finally our company became big, not because of performance marketing, but because of long-term revenue partnerships with different partners in different genres, and always with different approaches to acquire new users. Thank you very much.
Can you explain a little bit for social media, how do you think that's going to be more important in the future? How does it differ today to where it might be a little bit different in the future?
Yeah, I think right now we are just at the beginning of using social media as a real customer acquisition channel. Right now, mainly it's used as information tool or to keep customers you already gained. But mainly from our perspective, we do not enough to use social media as a real customer acquisition channel, and that'll change dramatically from my point of view, starting with like usual YouTube campaigns with all these social networks, for example. And the good thing is you don't have to attract the user in these channels. The user's already there, he's using it, he got used to it, and if he receives the right information at the right time right there, it's much easier to attract them than via, let's call it, old customer acquisition channels.
In one or two words, if you can just tell me the names of the right people who we need to cooperate with, the right partner to get those users.
Yes, depends on your product. I mean, it's a nice question.
It's a game.
It's a game, really. Okay, I didn't expect that. What kind of game?
Hopefully fun. No, but social game. Social, well, not casino, but social game.
Okay, and you're asking which kind of partners you have to ask to get the right.
Yeah, I mean, I think we.
Are you operating?
Facebook is good. Okay.
Are you operating globally?
No, internationally.
Okay, yeah, you're operating globally.
Oh, locally. I heard locally. Sorry.
Okay, so we've pretty much focused on direct cooperations. That means we approached the most important companies in each country, game pages, and from our point of view, media partners. Of course, right there you reach a target group which is not like 100% dedicated to gaming, but is pretty, let's say, easy to attract with this topic. And the companies there are pretty open for it. Of course, they are all looking for additional traffic on their pages because they are struggling with regard to commercial spendings, which they don't get neither in their print or in their online or mobile pages, and therefore they're quite happy if they get additional content which helps them to increase their user retention. It doesn't mean that they will, so they are not looking for additional money, they are more happy if people always come back to the page because they find interesting games. From my personal perspective, I would recommend partners like that.
Awesome, thanks.
Welcome.